Alright, let's just jump into the details right away. I don't know what happened to my stream right there. I had a little difficulty. So we had the winter weather pattern here, hyping up here across portions of early to mid-February, even into late February. Winter pattern is going to return with the jet stream. Obviously, we'll be warming up a little bit as we go into March, hopefully. But right now, February is going to be cold with some snowy conditions and some ice storm potential as well. So if we pull out the NDFD forecast model, like I was telling you guys yesterday, NDFD forecast model isn't picking up on stuff very well, but it is picking up a little bit better today on the freezing rain happening Wednesday into Thursday, obviously. So right here it shows freezing rain coming into portions of northern Illinois, even into overnight into Thursday morning. Some areas picking up a light glaze to maybe a tenth of an inch to a quarter inch of freezing rain. It's possible across portions of northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and a large portion of Michigan, obviously. So it's just based on the NDFD forecast model. If we pull out the MBM forecast model, you can see right here, it shows the same thing as well. Some areas picking up a light glaze or a tenth of an inch of icing, but as well, um, you're only going to get a good ice storm if the temperatures are going to cooperate with us. So we're going to overlook those temperatures as well in some of these forecast models after we kind of go over all the accumulation possibilities with all the forecast models as well. Um, that being said, the NBM forecast model is a good model as well, but it's playing a catch-up game just like the NDFD because all the other forecast models are showing a larger portion of freezing rain happening. So let's go ahead and go over here. To, this is the 06 European model, 06 run. So it shows freezing rain coming in Wednesday night, spotty in some areas, maybe some thunder as well. But it's shown there between a tenth of an inch to a quarter inch of freezing rain, likely. And this is the European forecast model. So um, when we're looking at this as well, we want to see that those temperatures are cooperating with us as well. That it is in a freeze zone context. So it does seem like the temperatures are going to be steady around the freezing or just below the freezing mark. So it looks like this would favor more of Michigan because Michigan is already in the mid 20s, and you do want your temperatures below 28, 29 degrees. One second. Hit my TV going too loud. Um, so most of the temperatures during the day here, based on the European model, shows that temperatures are steady across northern Indiana and most of Michigan below 29, 28 degrees, um, which would help favor freezing rain more. And you can see there's warmer temperatures down there with maybe some marginal severe weather across southern Illinois and southern Indiana as well with that front. So that is a possibility right there. We switch over to the GFS forecast model. It shows the warmer air further to the south, burning the freezing rain a little bit more to the further to the south as well. But temperatures still hovering around the freezing mark. You want temperatures below 29 degrees for a good freezing rain event for ice storm. Otherwise, if it's coming out too heavy and temperatures are just above 32 degrees or around 30, 31 degrees, they'll have a hard time freezing on contact unless the roads are really truly untreated. So that being said, go over here to the freezing rain total on what the GFS model is currently showing. So the GFS model is starting to align now with the European model finally, showing anywhere between a light glaze to a tenth of an inch of freezing rain, and this is the 06 run. So it's not the 12Z run yet from this morning. And then we go over to the Canadian model, obviously. This is from last night's run as well, showing some locations picking up a light glaze to a tenth of an inch plus of freezing rain. So all the forecast models are starting to agree with each other, obviously. So the NAM model, very interesting run on the NAM model here, goes really far south with this. I think the NAM model is the outlier at this point. I don't know if it's going to be this far south, but it just wouldn't just make sense to me on the position in the jet stream right now. But the NAM model is pushing us really far south. with the freezing rain. Oh. But like I said, that could be an outlier because the NDFD forecast model here is still really far north with all the other forecast models as well, with the freezing rain Wednesday into Thursday. And then what I really want to talk about is the cycle of, winter systems here. So we got the one coming in Wednesday into Thursday, and then we got another one coming into this weekend that could potentially bring some more freezing rain Saturday into Sunday and some snow, maybe some lake effect snow in the backhand of that this weekend. And then there's a potentially major winter storm that could be the biggest of the year, or the biggest of this year so far, developing um, the following week. That's been very consistent on some forecast models, but position of it is still to be determined. Um, but it's a very active pattern going into February for all this winter weather. Eventually, we're probably going to warm up, probably going into March or April, but right now, February is looking like a very sustainable winter pattern with multiple systems riding across the central U.S., fighting between warm air and cold air, obviously. So we're going to get these potential ice storm setups with these, and some we get cooler air, like it is probably going to set up for the following week. We could get a more of a substantial winter storm, but that's still in the works. If we look at the European forecast model and kind of just look at the run from last night, 00Z, so the European model has our ice storm potential and winter weather here coming into Wednesday into Thursday, just like GFS showing. It shows the next system coming in later this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with more ice potential as well. I think that would set the stage for cooler air as well. And then we have another winter system, which is this one that we're watching out for. How far south will this system be again, and where will it go? But there's going to be multiple systems, winter systems here coming in. So we're talking about Wednesday into Thursday, which is our ice storm potential there with 10th of an inch or more. And then we have the weekend system, and then we also have next week's possible system. So there's going to be multiple rounds of winter weather. Temperatures are going to be, in and out between the 20s and 30s. We could see some colder weather, more cold air coming in from Canada behind each system as it keeps pulling in more cold air behind it. But other than that, that's about it with all much specific details. Won't know more about this ice storm potential Wednesday and Thursday until at least tomorrow, when the higher resolution models, all of them, kind of get closer to the events. I don't think the HRRR model here is close enough. Oh, actually it is. Okay, so the 12Z HRRR model just is close enough for the Wednesday through Thursday snow ice storm potential. And it looks like the HRRR model's further south across central Illinois and two portions of west central Indiana. So it shows it coming in here on Wednesday. But what's good that the system's this far south starting out is that, if it does come north a little bit throughout much of the day, right, we get some freezing rain up here across the Chicago suburbs or northern Indiana. Well, good for me for chasing, bad for the public. The surface temperatures are going to be really cold up here already ahead of it, and that does mean if the HRRR model is right, the HRRR model is right about this Wednesday into Thursday with the ice storm potential. Northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and Michigan would see substantial icing with any light freezing rain or freezing drizzle that comes in across the area, because our temperatures on the HRRR model are picking up between 28 and 29 degrees or lower. So that freezing rain is coming in. So we're already up to the max, which is Wednesday evening. So we go over to precipitation type, and where is it at this point? It's right there. So let's zoom in on just Illinois alone. Actually, no. I'm gonna go zoom in on Chicago. So here's Chicago alone. And this is talking about 6 p.m. Here's 2 p.m. You can see there's some patchy light freezing drizzle or freezing rain coming in across the area here Wednesday night. And our surface temperatures across this area are probably going to be 29 or 28 degrees or lower, meaning that if the HER model is correct, we would be seeing substantial freezing rain and accumulation as well with that, because even though it's showing like a light glaze or 0.4, don't pay too much attention to that, because um, just with the light glaze or light freezing rain and with how much is coming down with our surface temperature at the time when it's showing us patchy stuff, our temperatures across the area are going to be setting the stage for anything that instantly freeze on contact. So you only need that light glaze to coat a little bit of the road and people start sliding off. So if our temperatures are like this throughout much of the day, Wednesday and Thursday, um, we're going to be talking about some big icing problems. Even if it's coming out as a light drizzle or a light freezing rain, you'll still get a ton of car slide offs, because if the plows don't take it serious, just like how they didn't take Kansas City serious because there wasn't any substantial freezing rain accumulation coming up on the forecast models. When you get freezing rain or light freezing drizzle coming across the area with temperatures 28 degrees or lower in untreated roadways, everyone's going to slide. You're going to have multiple multi-car pileups and stuff like that, just like Kansas City, Missouri. So hopefully they do treat the roadways, even though they're not expecting a ton of freezing rain accumulation. Even just one shower of freezing rain coming across the area with temperatures like this, you will have substantial travel impacts across a lot of the area. So that's just the HER model showing that, and we'll have to pay attention to see what else is showing. But if the HER model is showing that, that means that the NAM3 cam should be almost done updating. But the NAM3 cam is so much more further south. I don't know. There's a lot of forecast models are all in different scenarios that are unfolding. So probably know more by tomorrow. But other than that, stay tuned.